Hey, before the podcast gets started, make sure to go cop some t-shirts. I'm gonna take you out to the website. YouTube demonetized me, so your boy broke as fuck. So if you want to help support me, hold on, let me pull this up. Oh, this is Stu's site. You can fuck with Stu too, but let me show y'all mine first. I'm the priority here, motherfucker. This is my shit. All right, so you got the Game Time tee, Game Time on the front, oversized tee, Teammacho on the back. You got the I'm not a fucking scientist. I'm not supposed to curse in the first minute, but fuck it. I'm already demonetized, niggas. Facts. So yeah, I'm not a fucking scientist. I'm a bodybuilder. Yeah, so whatever you want to fuck with it. If you don't want to fuck with it, that's okay too. All right. So yeah, like if you want, hey, if you don't even support me, if you support Kane, if you like dogs, if you want Kane to stay on his diet, you know what I'm saying, keep getting brolic, keep getting buff, fuck with some t-shirts. All right. If not, Kane gonna be hungry. I'll put the camera on him, but he's sleeping right now. They don't. That's why I said buff. I'm like, they don't know what brolic mean. If you're not from New York, you probably don't know. But anyway, support Stu as well, because he do this podcast. And I like to support my friend's business. Unlike everybody else who go rock Gucci and all that shit, I rock with my boys. So go cop Stu stuff, beefstew.net. He got the Fear the Fro shirt. That's my favorite right there, Fear the Fro Stu. And then he got this serious bodybuilder one, beef stew with the abs and thighs. Oh, he cheaper than mine. His is $28. Damn. I gotta drop my rate. I gotta match that rate. The motherfuckers cop my shit. But anyways, I don't want to make this too long. Teammacho.shop and beefstew.net. Fuck with your boys. Enjoy the episode.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, perfect. I hear you loud and clear.
I turned up my mic volume.
Good.
Almost started one of these without technical difficulties. Almost.
Oh my, well, you're good enough, right?
Yeah.
Let me post this. Let me post a question sticker real quick.
See what you can get.
Yeah, I got a couple of. I sent a couple of links. Let's see who gets on today.
It's always a crapshoot, man.
You and me, you never know.
We're consistent.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't mind just talking to you sometimes. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the sweet spot is 4. If I'm being honest, I like 4.
I agree. 4 is perfect. 5. There's at least one person in the bottom corner, just like.
Hey, I don't know if you noticed when that happens. I try to involve the person. Like, hey, so what do you think? But some people,
it's not even like anybody's fault either, because like we're kind of quiet, you know. So
yeah,
just naturally.
Some people don't talk over people, right? But I kind of encourage it. That sounds bad, but I kind of encourage it because if there's more than 3-4 people, you probably won't be able to say anything unless you just talk, you know. And hold up, leave quick.
It's chaotic.
Yeah, and I think you do a good job. Even when it's crowded, you'll get your word in, but without cutting people off. It's a skill, man. It's a skill. For the some people if you ask Joe a question, he'll go, but he doesn't like to cut people off though. He doesn't like to cut people off. Same with Carlos, yeah, if you give Carlos the floor, he'll talk, but he doesn't like to jump in there per se. Now Compton is the opposite. Compton won't say a word unless you ask him a question, but you ask him one question, that man might go for 15 minutes. You know,
he's got like
So
3 stories that are pertinent to whatever the fuck we're talking about.
yeah,
Stuff
yeah,
you never heard before.
100%. I think PJ is a great balance because PJ he'll take the floor if you give him the floor, but he knows how to jump in there here and there too as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won't do it aggressively, but he's good at that. Who else we got? Jordan and Robin, they flow really well. They flow perfectly well.
Just because they sound nice, you know? It's
Yeah,
pleasant to listen to. Better than
they got
our
a good
voices, that's for sure.
Paul. Yeah, Paul. If there's too many people, Paul won't really talk much. If it's like 4 people, he'll.
Paul's the guy who's like hiding in the bottom corner.
Zayd. Now Zayd, if there's like 3 people, 4 people, Zeta, if he's high enough, sometimes he won't say a word.
That's the thing. Like, it depends on how high he is. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that is gonna like determine how much he's talking, you know?
When we get high together, we have the best conversations ever.
I
But
bet.
that's like, yeah, that's like one-on-one though, and those are like private conversations, you know. But I think he just he likes to just hang out. He'll come here and just hang out, smoke a joint, and just just chill out. And then every once in a while, he'll say something. His opinions is so random that sometimes I'll be like, wait, what? But when I smoke with him, it makes sense. Then I'm like, oh, I get where you come from. You got to be high sometimes to really get where Zayd is coming from, because he makes sense in his own way. Also, what I learned is that bodybuilders, we think we make sense, but we sound crazy to everybody else.
Mhm.
So we're literally sitting here telling the man, you need to take more drugs. You need to care less about your health and push the envelope. And it sounds insane in the real world, but in bodybuilding terms, as a pro bodybuilder, bro, it's the truth though. Like we're not. It's the truth. It is what it is. And we're not saying disregard your health, but there's a health phase where you don't like that word. There's a recovery phase.
HELF.
Yeah, I think how we look at it is like you can't get healthier than baseline. So you get back to baseline after your recovery phase. Everything is good. You push. Like we don't see the point to say everything is good. So let's just hold back. It's like kind of like.
I mean, what you really should be trying to do is like limit the damage when you are on a bunch of drugs. You know, so like
exactly.
it's gonna be bad for you. You got to do stuff to mitigate that, like medications or supplements or whatever else, right? In the meantime, to like not fuck yourself up, because if you need to be able to get back to that baseline every time you drop down, right?
Exactly.
If you're not coming back, then you push too hard, or you're like maybe not have to take more time off, and it sounds like a drug addict thing to say, because it kind of is, but like more time off is not good, like
no,
the old adage, like time on equals time off. Have you ever met anyone who does that? Like besides
no. to be honest, even the old school guys who act like they do it don't, because
they're full of shit. Yeah, for
right, because they used to do fucking 10 shows a year. So it's like, yes, you come completely off. But what are we talking about here? 2 weeks off is not off, bro. Like that's like, that doesn't count in my opinion. You know
what I will say is like I personally never done this. I know some people do, and maybe you can get away with it, but like I'm not a fan of like a super level cruise. People will say like I'm cruising and they're taking 500 mgs a test. Like I don't really call that a cruise, man. Now, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite. GH doesn't count. That stays in all the time. Insulin also, those are things that are not going to be negatively affecting your health markers, really. And if you have your blood pressure under control, then it should be fine, right? But if you're cruising on like 500, 800 mgs of gear total, you're like taking like test and primo. I mean, that's a lot, man.
Well, it kind of defeats the point, because you can't focus on everything at once. But people love to do that, right? Like, bro, I want to add 10 pounds of muscle, but I want to get leaner. It's like, bro, relax. Can we do one thing? Can we focus on one thing? I'm not saying you won't get leaner, but let's not try to do everything at once, right? So when it's time to get healthy, let's focus on that. Let's not say, oh, I want to fix my blood work, but I also want to continue to gain another 5 pounds. It's like, no, focus on that right now. And as soon as that is over, you'll have a better off season for it. Yeah. Right. Because you're starting fresher, you're starting more sensitive, and you're starting healthier. Now, you need a certain level. Bodybuilding isn't healthy, but you need a certain level of health to look good. If you're in liver and kidney failure, how good do you think you're gonna look on stage? Like, come on, right? Yeah. So
I know some examples of people with fucked up kidneys and they can't get dry.
Exactly.
When the day comes, it's like they could have no body fat on them, but they just don't. It's
still the same. Okay. Flex Wheeler, 90, I don't know, 90 something at that Arnold Classic, looks so peeled. And then he's like, the older he got later in his career, it was harder and harder for him to get dry, and he would have to take more diuretics, right? Now, what comes first, I don't know, but that kidney issue didn't just pop out of nowhere. He said he's born with the condition. Now, whether he is or not, the condition didn't come out of nowhere. It slowly got worse.
I mean, so Dustin Lloyd, right? He had the aortic dissection. That was because of a genetic, flaw in his heart, but it was perpetuated by, having high blood pressure and doing what he did, right? Exactly. So you can't sit here and say like, oh, it would have happened eventually regardless. Like, that's not entirely true. There's a bit of nuance there,
We don't want to believe that, right? Because it makes us feel bad about ourselves. Yeah. If we admit it, it makes us feel bad. So we don't want to admit it. There's both sides of the spectrum, but yeah. But anyway, like Flex, I believe Flex kidney issue did hinder him from getting super dry later in his career. That plus the French fries, of course. But that probably he said on the podcast that he would have French fries in prep, and then in the same podcast he said he would go 0 carbs, and then Milos was like, "Are you 0 carbs or are you eating French fries? Which one is it?"
Well, dude, I remember hearing Chad talk about this on some podcast, and he would plan on Flex cheating on his diet. So like he would like run him super fucking hard. He'd break after 4 or 5 days. Go eat some McDonald's, French fries, I guess, and then get back to it. And like, I mean, that kind of works, if you're
it does,
right?
It does. Well, I did that with a bikini client. She would always lie to me on prep, and then after the prep is over, when she doesn't look how she wants to look, she'll admit, okay, I was having Reese's cups every night or whatever she was having, right? So. Obviously, eventually catch on and be like, she's going to do this every time. She's just going to lie while she's in prep. And then after, she'll feel guilty because she didn't get the look she wanted. And then she'll admit it. So I would just factor it in. I would be like, I'm not giving her no carbs because she's getting, 30 grams of fat and 10 carbs every night. So that's going to be her fucking carb. Fuck it. That's kind of what Ronnie did with the barbecue sauce. He's going to get another 50 grams of carbs. Fuck it. I'll put him on 200, only 100 carbs, So sometimes you have to, there's 2 different ways of coaching. You have like a Patrick Tour who will be like, what? You're having French fries? I'm not working with you. Find a new coach, right? And then you learn that, especially where we're at, we're not training top 10 Olympians. So we have to understand that people aren't perfect. And they're gonna do some shit, and if you can't work with them to some extent, you won't have any clients because you're gonna be like, fuck all of you.
Right? Yeah, but at the same time, like the not top 10 Olympians are the people who can't get away with that stuff, really. For the most part.
Good point. Well, I'm learning to be nicer instead of because I didn't have a plan B before. It was like, oh, you can't follow this. I can't help you. I don't know what to do. Now I'm like, okay, let me figure out a way. Okay, let me try to give this guy pasta. I don't fucking know. Instead of rice, I'm gonna give him one meal of beef and pasta. See if that just stupid shit like that to try to satisfy them in some kind of way so that hopefully they can get through it. Because I'm looking at it as if they win, if I can get them to win despite of themselves, then I achieve something. I couldn't see it that way before. I'm like, if you can't follow it, you can't be a bodybuilder. But then I'm also learning that a lot of bodybuilders do have some weaknesses, whether it's a time management thing or it's a, I don't know, they snack too much in the off season. People do have flaws. So I'm like, okay, let me learn how to work with the flaws instead of saying fuck you to everybody, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's been working out better. But there has to be a limit. You can't just do what the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? But
hey, bro,
uh-huh.
I am almost as heavy as I've ever been right now in the morning. I was
Let's pull you
294
up.
this morning.
I saw those pictures you posted. That was 294.
I was 294 this morning. I went and
Okay.
smashed some McDonald's last night. I'm not proud of it, but you know, getting it done.
Hey, so let me pull it. Let me share the screen. As big
Well,
as you
for
look,
anyone who's curious, it was two McDoubles, one spicy McChicken, and a Big Mac, and a small French fry. Because I'm watching my figure, you know.
and the small French fry. You know, seeing you in person, right? As big as you look, I wouldn't imagine you were in that good of off season shape. I would have thought
That's
that.
cheater lighting right there. I did that for a reason.
Yeah, but well,
gonna be honest, but yeah,
listen,
like I'm not fat right now. You know, I'm in like decent off-season condition. The last time I was this heavy was 2 years ago, and I was on a shitload of Trestolone. I went from like 286 to 296 in a week, and it was just water. It was shit.
November.
So
This is
yeah,
early.
this is a much better off-season shape than like when I was there a couple years ago. But
Yeah, well, seeing you like walking around in the shirt, I wouldn't think you were this lean. I would think you were, pushing the off season, getting soft. But then you peel off, and I'm like, he's still pretty lean, man. So
I think I can get up to 300 in the next few weeks here.
That's impressive, man.
Feeling good right now. Feeling very good.
That's impressive. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like in a tank top, I look in good off season condition, and I take off the tank top, and I'm like, not so much, But everybody holds their weight so different.
Yeah.
That it's really hard to get. It's really hard to get a idea of what's going on. Would you say you distribute your fat very evenly?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. And
I think so too.
that's good and bad because like, I have probably 35 pounds to lose from here to get in shape.
Exactly what I was going to say.
35, 40 pounds, right?
Oh,
But it might not look like that at first glance.
I was going to say that when you hold your fat evenly, you appear leaner than you are actually.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at somebody who holds it, Quentin, you're like, oh man, that's at 320. That's not bad, man. But he still has to lose fucking 60 pounds to get in shape.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's tall, obviously, but because he distributed, his waist doesn't look bloated. He looks shapely. Right. And then you have somebody like, let's say Janicki. I'm like, bro, damn, you should be ready. Fucking lose 15 pounds. He should be ready. And he still has to fucking lose a bunch of weight, When you have Joe, I'm like, ooh, motherfucker, you're going to have to lose 70 pounds to be in shape. But no, motherfucker, he loses the fucking around the back and stomach. And then it's like, oh, okay. He looks,
Dude, him and Paul are like the same like that. Their
yeah.
glutes will be in and their lower back is still just like 6 weeks out. Like,
Yeah.
and then they have to like fight to get that, and they
100%.
get it, and when they finally all comes in, his waist shrinks like 4 inches visually. It's a crazy last couple of weeks for those guys.
But this shit is confusing, man, because it is weird because I like to compare where I'm at. I'm like, okay, so if I'm 20 pounds, if I'm like 10, 15 pounds heavier and I'm tall, okay, this is going to be this way. But it doesn't work that way because I still have to lose 50 pounds to look remotely in shape.
I actually fucked this up earlier in the year with one of my clients. We were prepping for a show and, he had already lost 30, 30 pounds at least, right? And he like when he started his prep, like he had abs, he had some leg separation. He didn't look fat, right? But like
Yeah,
it's just very evenly distributed on him. And he probably had another 15 pounds to go. And
yeah,
I'm pushing him super hard already. And it was behind schedule. So I was like, listen, this miscalculated this. Let's pull the plug. You're lean now, you
hmm,
know, and start from a leaner starting point. So he's like 10 pounds lighter now than where he started last prep, significantly leaner, a little bigger,
yeah.
and we're going to start prep in a couple of weeks here for a different show next year. So
This is why it's important to work with a coach for a extended period of time and get some preps under your belt with the same coach because
and I
some
mean
things.
I fucked up. I should have known better. Like because I have the same kind of deal, right?
Yeah,
But like, boy, he didn't look bad at 280, and like
that's what
he
I'm
got
saying.
got down to like under 250. And I'm like, fuck, man, this is
Mhm.
this is
Well,
like it's not
you
here.
you can't know for sure unless you try it, bro. Um, my first prep with Compton, I was 280, and it didn't look that bad, man. And then we're dieting, and I'm losing weight, and I'm just as fat. And he's like, "Oh man, he like, I don't know. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know if your clan and T3 are real." I'm like, "It's real, man. It's farm grade stuff, and it's a trusted source." He's like, "Okay, well, let's keep cranking." And it finally started coming in after like 40 pounds we lost, and it's just that, just fatter than him, fatter than. Now looking back, I can see it because now I know my body better, and I'm like, "Oh no, I was fat as shit." Because there was not one line in my body. I just looked shapely. I had even better shape back then. So I just looked really aesthetic, just fat and aesthetic. So it's hard to, like, he can't be that fat. Look at his waist. He pulled in the vacuum, but I was fat as fuck at 280. It was a good looking fat physique, you
I
know.
mean, good problem to have, right?
Yeah, that's true. But I compare it to now, seeing where I started, and I still had to lose all that weight. So I was ridiculously fat for my body at the time, you know. But there's so much nuances. I have a client today competing at the Masters USA,
Oh,
and we
no
did a prep.
shit.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
class is he in? I hope
And
he's not in Raf's class.
unfortunately, yeah, he been
Oh
40 plus.
no.
Me, what's funny? Me and him were pausing in the bathroom, and Ralph walks in, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And then he takes off his clothes. I'm like, "Oh, I'm trying not to look." I'm like,
Dude, pull up Raf's page because people
"Let me
won't know
see."
who he is. Raf
Okay,
Raf is it's Raphael, or I think it's Raphael
Tech.
is his
It's like
name.
Ralph Tech.
Yeah, Teich.
Okay, got
His
it.
wife is Melissa Teich. She's a women's bodybuilder, and they own a couple gyms down in Tucson. Honestly, some of the sweetest people I've ever met. Um,
What's his real name? Oh, Raphael's his real name?
I think I don't know.
Is he
Everybody
white?
calls him Ray for Raf.
What is he? He's Italian. Is he white?
Oh, he's
What's
Irish.
his? Oh,
Irish.
okay, okay. I didn't know they had that name.
Yeah, he was telling me like his whole family used to be like alcoholics and shit because that's just what the Irish are like.
Oh, damn, man. Okay, so when this is today,
Yeah, this morning.
this is what I expected to see, which is a good physique that's in shape, good size, but on stage, I saw basically a fucking pro bodybuilder. He looked twice as big, twice as shredded, and all that. Obviously, I've known he's a really good bodybuilder and he could win the show, right? But he honestly looked way better than I thought he would look. Some people look better on the stage lighting. Some people don't look as good. He looked ridiculous. If I'm being completely honest,
Yeah.
it didn't even make sense.
He put on like I want to say like 15 pounds since last year. He's like barely under 250 right now. Um and I
But
think
like,
he's 38.
how though? How is he?
Dude,
How is he
I mean, he
doing?
only got back into this a few years ago. Um because he was like a teen bodybuilding champ, and then he had like,
Oh,
15 years of like living life basically. He had a construction business. The guy works his ass off. And he got back into it in his like his mid 30s. and he's been with Blue for like 2.5 years now. Um,
Well,
and
he looks
yeah, he's made
crazy.
just fucking crazy progress, man.
Okay, so obviously, I was at the USA. I competed there.
Yeah,
I think he looked today could have won the USA. So I'm being completely honest. You
yeah.
know,
So
I would have to see it up there.
he
Yeah.
actually so he's been told this by people,
Hmm.
behind the scenes. He's 38, right? And when he goes to these, regular national shows, non-masters national shows, they're kind of like not looking at him so much because he is older.
Hmm.
Because when you want to like crown a class winner or like a national champ or something like that, one of these big national shows, like you want to give it to somebody who's going to have a career ahead of him, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm not saying he won't, but it's like he's 38, right? So he's not
I'm
going
not
to be
sure.
like, fucking winning pro shows. Um, but
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not
shit,
sure.
he's made so much progress in the last couple of years. I never say never.
I'm not
But
sure.
they weren't really giving him a good look there because of his age, and he was told this by people. So he was like, "Okay, I'm just going to hit the Masters." So that's what he's been doing.
Yeah, so guys about to throw up. You eating random shit off the floor. Yeah, but yeah. Honestly, it kind of looks a little bit odd sometimes. Um, damn, I'm drawing a blank. What's the guy's name who won USA's this year? I
Uh,
forgot his name.
who won the USA's?
This year,
I don't remember his name.
I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but you know what I'm talking about. He was on the podcast.
Yeah, the older guy.
The
You're
shitty.
talking about North Americans, the Nigerian guy.
No. The USA's. You remember the shredded tall guy?
Oh, I wasn't on that one when he was
Oh,
here.
oh. But you know who he is, right? You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
he's a little older, right?
Yeah, he said he was 41.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now to go back to what you said, there's no disrespect. I'm pretty sure he watched the podcast. No disrespect at all. It does look a little bit odd when the winner looks so much older. You know, it looks like, even on the poster. You see the poster, and you're like, huh? Because like you said, Mr. USA, you for some you expect to see like a younger guy.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
this is the start of a promising career in the pro league, right?
hey, no, shut
So,
up. Yeah,
but yeah,
so
I
it
mean, Raf won the supers at the Masters USA's last year, and then he's doing it today. He lost the overall to the middleweight last year, so
so
it's
I
too
still
tough.
haven't seen this middleweight guy, but I find it really hard to believe because I saw how he looked last year.
Yeah,
So that's a bit strange. I didn't expect this to see that. I honestly thought he had it last year pretty easily.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying? You know. Now he doesn't have the smallest waist on stage. The way he poses it looks perfectly fine to me.
Yeah, he controls it great. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks perfectly fine to me. So it looks like he has this show pretty convincingly. He looked like he was in the wrong class. The other super was actually really fucking good. Like that guy can win. He would win any other Masters USA he did. He would win. He was a tall guy, aesthetic, in crazy shape, good muscle bellies. But Ralph just was twice as dense. You
yeah,
know, even better tan. But it was just not night and day. But shout out Ralph. He looked insane.
yeah. So if Raf doesn't win this show by the end of the day, I'm gonna start a riot or something.
Yeah, at this
Should be a
point, I
safe
don't.
bet, but man, it's happened
I can't.
before.
I can't see it any way. Yeah, but it did happen before. I can't see any way. Now, I didn't see who the head judge was. It sounded like Tyler. I don't know anybody else who sounds like Tyler. If it's Tyler, he's gonna win.
So last year it was Sandy. Um,
Okay, it wasn't Sandy this year. It was like a young man. It
okay.
sounded like a young white male. I don't know any other young white males that would judge besides Tyler. So, oh, he chewing into the whole toy. Oh, no wonder he's choking. Oh, hell no. He chewed out the whole toy. Sit your ass down, man.
You have a little
Fake
menace,
choke.
dude.
This guy is wild, you know. But yeah, yeah. Hey, sit your ass down. Yeah. So if it's Tyler, there's no way he's not gonna win just because Tyler can see that he's clearly the winner. You know. All right, but let's see what we got going on. You guys laying on me now. I don't know what he wants from me. All
What
right,
else
let's
is
see what we got.
happening in bodybuilding right now?
I
It's
don't know. Let's check it out.
kind of nothing, man. Like we got one more open show. Oh, Kareth won the Japan show in 212 today,
Well, I didn't know there
so
was a
he's
Japan
qualified
show.
again.
I didn't know there was a Japan show. Come here.
Yeah, it's like Kareth and then a ton of Asian guys.
Oh, wow. They're gonna be
Just like who the fuck wants to go to all the way to Japan to compete?
yeah. Fuck all that.
Crazy
Sit down. Sit
expensive.
down. Sit down. Sit. Sit down.
Who, me?
No.
I am sitting down.
Sit down.
I'm gonna stand up.
All right. Let's see what's going on.
I'll sit back down. Just messing with you. There's the Spain show. Was that next weekend?
I think so.
Yeah.
Rafa and Akeem are both doing. No, Rafa stopped. Akeem is doing Spain show. Right.
And Lewis Breed is as well.
That guy is good. I like Lewis Breed.
like
I don't
him a
think.
lot.
I got to be honest, man. I don't think. Hold up. Let me get this. Hey, you guys been crazy. Let me get the. I'm gonna get the damn collar for him. 1 second.
This is why I don't have any dogs. Ruin podcasts. And a lot of other reasons. Dogs are a lot of work, especially puppies.
Yeah, that guy's a menace. No, go sit down. Go sit down. No, go sit down. Yeah, you're a menace. Yeah, Lewis Reed. I don't think people say the only thing holding him back is his shape, which is probably true. But I don't think it's that bad. Like, what is he supposed to look like? Keon? Like, everybody can't look like that.
No, I mean,
like,
he doesn't have bad shape. I think he's super dense, which is one of his strengths, right? But he also just doesn't take up a lot of real estate on stage, you know?
yeah,
So, like, even with all the muscle in the world, he's still going to be compact.
yeah.
So, like, it kind of limits you long term because, like, you can't just keep on growing and filling out your frame and filling out your frame.
It's gonna.
It's
Yeah,
LEWIS.
He's from the UK. It's different. It's spelled different over there, huh? Yeah, I thought he looks crazy in Texas. I think he always looks crazy. Like this to me, look at the quads. Look at the fucking quads, man.
Yeah.
That to me is insane. Look at the chest fucking striations. Look at the fucking detail. I don't know, man. I feel like he's underrated.
I don't know if you'd say underrated. I mean, he's been in top call-outs, the last 2 years. So I think he's getting looks.
Or I guess the league is just more competitive.
The least competitive and like to get yourself up to the level of winning a show is like,
perfect.
You got to be perfect. Yeah.
Literally perfect. You remember Josh Wade used to win shows? And Josh Wade was like the same condition and hardness, but with worse shape and worse muscle bellies. And
but he was bigger. He was a big dude.
He had a big frame. He had a big frame.
Yeah. So like in a men's open lineup, he didn't like he was 5'9", 5'10", and like I think he was that tall. But he was like wide,
Yeah, so it made a difference. But shout out Lewis Breed. He was walking around Vegas with a like a cowboy hat. Did you see that with the cowboy hat? And
no.
It was kind of cool seeing like a buff ass cowboy walking around. Let me see if I can find a picture. I'm sure he posted it.
Yeah, that's how he. There he is.
I thought he was walking around Vegas. Oh, he got married. That's why. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Does it count
if you get a cowboy hat, dude?
Wait, if you're from UK and you get married in Vegas, it counts? Is that a thing?
Yes. I don't know.
Well, he got married. Congrats to Elvis. Like Elvis married them. Congrats, Lewis Breed. I wonder how people were looking at him, looking like that.
How is this guy more Texas than me? I live here.
Yeah, you got to get a cowboy hat, man.
Uh,
You got to get that cowboy hat. Antonio had some fun a couple
Oh
of days
yeah,
ago.
dude. Oh, I don't want to see this again.
Will this get my channel taken down if I show this?
No, probably not.
Yeah, they're weird now. Yikes. You can still see his tattoos on his flesh. Look at
Dude,
you see? You still see the tattoo
yeah,
under his flesh.
that is
That's
crazy.
Well, that's why they're permanent, because they have to get through the second layer of your skin. Because if not, if you had any injury, your tattoos would just peel the fuck off. Damn, that's pretty. I mean, the way he's just taking a picture casually, I mean, that looks pretty fucking bad, bro.
It is.
That's
It's
that's
really
no
bad.
skin.
There's no skin on his palm, bro.
Okay,
Uh,
that would be the most annoying part for me.
all right,
Having
you
no
can
skin.
close that now.
My
Thanks.
palm, the inside of my hand being peeled off would be pretty annoying. Very, very annoying. That wouldn't be, but he's posting on his stories kind of like casually, like nothing happened, you know.
I'm not sure how long ago that did happen, because, like, I mean, if he was injured like that, it would have taken him out of the gym for a couple weeks for sure.
Oh
Um,
yeah, good point. I think it was a little. It had to be a little while back, no?
I'm assuming, yeah.
Because the story I see him posting, it doesn't look like I don't see him wrapped up and shit. It doesn't look like a man who's has no skin. Yeah, maybe. I should have had him on the show. Yeah, I don't know when the fuck that happened. Did he have long? Wait, did he have long hair?
He
Because he
does,
cut.
yeah.
Oh yeah, because he cut his hair. So this must have happened like at least the earliest, at least a few weeks back, because he cut his hair like a few weeks ago. I should get him on a podcast next week. We could talk about it because I don't really know when it happened or anything like that.
Don't ride motorcycles, guys. It's not worth it. Coming from a guy who used to ride motorcycles.
Oh really? I never did. I always wanted to, but
No,
everybody tells me.
dude. It's because, like, it's never even your fault. Sometimes if you're an idiot, then yeah, you kill yourself on a bike. But, like, all it takes is one person pulling in front of you and you're dead. You know, it's not even your
Yeah,
fault. So
everybody told. There was this girl that used to go to my gym. She was like an actress, model, and she almost lost her leg in a motorcycle accident. Like her leg was hanging off by a thread. But yeah, everybody told me I'm gonna die, so don't get it. So I didn't do it, but I'll do it someday
my
when I feel
mother
like
was thrilled when I decided to stop riding.
I when I feel like I lived enough life, then I'll get a motorcycle. You know, that's how Paul rides. Paul's like, yeah, I made it to my 40s. You know,
Uh,
I'm I'm happy. That stuff.
he's very fatalistic about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, man, you do have to live your life within. It depends how happy. It don't make me that happy to ride a motorcycle, but if it's like your everything, fuck it, do what you got to do. But for most of us, we don't care that much to do it.
Yeah.
You know. All right.
The
Let's
annoying
talk.
thing is, like, you can get a really fast motorcycle for not very much money. So you like
Mhm.
if you want to go fast, that's the cheapest way to do it. Versus,
Yeah,
like, if you
yeah.
want a fast car, that's gonna take a significant investment.
L- Low key, I probably will get one, especially if you live somewhere with traffic like here. It's kind of it's kind of convenient. It's kind of convenient, low key, to get through traffic, but
Dude, you
also
can't even
we,
drive a car.
yeah,
Like, you can
barely.
barely drive a car. You do not need a bike.
you, I didn't have a license till I was 24.
I know. Yeah, I know.
I was driving, but I didn't have a license. You know, but the first time, the first test I took, I think I failed, but it
I'm
wasn't my
shocked.
fault. First time I took it, I think I failed. Then the second time, my brake lights weren't working, and they were like, "Oh, too bad." And I'm like, oh, what does that mean? He's like, you can't pass if your brake lights don't work. I'm like, what do you mean? It's a glitch. I could fix it. Too bad. Come back, make another appointment. They were being mean about it. You know, but let's talk about you. You in off season?
Me?
But yeah,
I'm 294
okay.
pounds. Yes, I'm in the off season.
When would you push the off season into?
Oh, I'm gonna try to get up to 300 and hold it for a month or two.
Okay.
Um, so like I'm probably gonna run it through the end of January, mid-February, and then drop down to a cruise. I need to get gyno surgery done in that time frame, get recovered, and then I'll start prep in like end of March, beginning of April, I think. But
Oh, so
yeah.
are you somebody who does cruise off season, cruise before prep, or do you
Yes.
usually do?
Yeah, I always want
Oh,
to take a break before I start prep.
yeah, I think I want to start doing that. I usually just do cruise off season, straight into prep, straight into rebound. So
I mean,
off
like
season,
you could feasibly run like a really mild off-season cycle and then go straight into prep. Um, I mean, honestly, with my longer preps in the past, like Blue kind of had me in a bit of an off season before he started bringing me down. But drugs were super mild. If I started like 20 weeks out, I don't do that
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
So yeah, I prefer to just have a clean out period and then start prep at 10 weeks out. Um,
But how long would the recovery be?
4 to 6, kind of depends on my blood work.
No, oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the
Recovery?
gyno surgery recovery.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that could be anywhere from 2 to 4 or 5 weeks. I'm gonna try to, you know, speed run it because I don't want to be out of the
Yeah,
gym like that.
but
Um,
you wouldn't lose any muscle. You might lose some pop and fullness, but that's
yeah,
not real
I
tissue.
mean, you gotta keep your food coming in and you gotta
Cardio,
train what you
legs,
can train in that time frame.
legs.
So like no chest. The first week back, like you can't really do anything.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be jamming myself full of peptides to try to like speed everything up because I don't want to dilly dally.
You could do arms and legs though, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I I, I don't feel like that would be too far of a stretch. And I think like would TB and BPC help or something like that?
Yeah, it would.
Okay. And then growth too. But some people say gear, or you'll be on cruise anyways. But some people say gear is bad for recovering surgery. Is that you ever
Um,
heard that? Like actual test and
the only thing I could think of is like maybe inflammation increasing.
yeah,
But overall, it's increasing the rate of protein synthesis in
mhm.
all tissues, mainly muscle tissue, but all tissues.
Yeah.
Um, so that doesn't really make sense to me.
Well, I guess gyno is different, but let's say if you were getting, if you, I don't know, if you broke a bone or tore a muscle, I guess having all that muscle would just be more work for the surgeon to shift through the fucking muscle, maybe. That I could see, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Or
But I
just
mean, you're not
even
going to shrink down before they do the surgery, and then, you know,
no, yeah. Michael Krizo lost a little bit before he got surgery, and then he just trained everything else. So he had one huge arm and one small arm,
yeah,
which
that'll be
which
back soon, though, man.
it
His
will.
arms are crazy, so
So in the past, I used to think, fuck that. I'd rather just get small everywhere. Now I disagree because would you rather come back? Okay, now I'm healthy, but now instead of 300, I'm 240 and I have to gain 60 pounds. Or
every
would you
year,
rather,
yeah,
huh? Yeah,
every
or would
year,
you, you know, and you would have to lower your food and your metabolism would slow down, your appetite would be shit, or keep your metabolism, keep your appetite high and stay like 285 and you only have one small arm, you only have to gain that one arm, which will come back really fast once you start working out. So yes, you look weird with one big arm, one small arm, but for your career, you can once you're ready to train the arm, you can go back to normal within 4 weeks instead of taking 4 months to build that whole physique from the bottom up.
Yeah, and just systemically, like losing all that muscle and then gaining it all back,
It's tough
that
on the
would be
body.
really stressful on your whole body.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it might not even look the same the second time around.
Yeah.
It might not look as so because it's been sitting there. The longer it sits there and gets denser and more mature, is better off. So now I feel like keep as much muscle as you can on your body, regardless. Train the other side. Do what you got to do. So it makes sense. And like and for if not nothing else, you keep your appetite, you keep your hunger, you keep your metabolism. Your body's still running like a furnace. So you really have no ground to make up besides one body part. You know what I'm saying? You got Mark Hector now getting ready for a show, knowing damn well that his shoulder. I watched the video. Basically, the good news is that he's going to compete. The bad news is that they told him his shoulder's fucked. They can't do nothing for him. Like we can't do anything for your shoulder. Like the fuck.
Do you know what's actually wrong with it? Is it a rotator cuff, no cartilage? Like, what
He,
is
he
it?
went he went into detail, but it went
Okay,
over my head. It went
I'd
over
have
my
to
head.
read it or go watch that.
Yeah, but they're telling him he's gonna be in pain. It is what it is. So he's just gonna prep anyways. It may or may not be his last show, which kind of sucks. But he's gonna pose around it and see what he can do because he's like he doesn't feel right after all the work he put in to make the improvements to just say, oh fuck it, this is over. That's horrible to hear. He's probably like I don't know, he's early 30s.
Yeah,
And he
but I
has a
mean,
really
that's
good
all it
physique.
takes is one big injury, or not,
Yes.
maybe not even just like an injury, because like Branch Warren recovered from his quad tear really
Hmm.
fast, and then he went and won an Arnold Classic, right? So like
Yeah.
a muscle tear can be bad, but like something like, oh, you have no cartilage in your knees, you have
Yeah.
terrible arthritis or something like that, that's not gonna get better, you
That's
know?
horrible.
Like
Yeah.
not only is that going to probably end your career, but you're going to be in pain for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty gnarly.
It would be a little easier if you already made it to your pinnacle, to your best look, and then from there you're just trying to hold. Like if this happened to like Hottie would still be a top three, top four guy because
Yep.
he's already maxed out on his best look, right? So if one shoulder is a little down, he could still place top five regularly. Whereas Mark Hector was still on the build up. So once if you're on the build up and you take that kind of hit, now that makes it a lot harder, because you're not trying to maintain your spot, you're trying to move up.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. We seen Dorian win Olympia with a torn bicep, and we see people at the top sustain an injury and be able to maintain there, but on the way up is not when you want to take it. That's like Phil Heath and his second show tears of muscle. It's like that kind of fucks shit up a bit, But shout out
All right,
Mark
I'm gonna
Hector.
take a piss real quick. I'll be back
Yeah,
in
do,
2 seconds.
do your thing. I'm gonna keep them entertained. Let me see. I'm gonna look through the questions, see if we got any good ones. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, we got some good ones. I'm gonna screenshot this. Hold on. Let me screenshot the other one.
Ugh, we're back.
Damn, that was a quick piss, man.
Told you I'd hurry.
I didn't know you had that one in you. All right. Want to get in some questions?
See what we got.
We'll keep it short today. I got to make it back out to Anaheim.
Oh yeah, you gotta go back to the show for the evening.
Mhm. Yep. All right. Huh? In the same time, wait, what? I'm trying to say what you're saying. In the same time, big guys were pulled out in order not to make Sebum look like the odd man out. I don't understand. I don't really understand that.
Yeah, learn English, bro.
And okay, in general, I don't think Steve gives a fuck about making Sebum looks bad or not. I don't think he really cares. I got to be honest. Steve doesn't seem like he gives a fuck about that. Personally, the Sebum is gonna look how Sebum looked, but he actually didn't look small. It's hard to look small when you're the tallest, whitest guy on the stage, even if you're under muscle.
Yeah.
He didn't look as dense, but Sebum is not gonna look small. He's the biggest person on the stage, so he'll look slight, but not small. There's a difference, you know. Yeah, if he sounds like Andrew Jack, that's different. It's a different ball game. Do you think the fourth guy in Prague was purposely drawn there to the direct of the show? What? It's the same guy. This guy, you got to work on the English. Oh, unless you don't speak English. I'm sorry. The fourth guy, I thought he looked. I thought he looked
like
insane.
Matthias Holbeck or something like that. What's his name?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He was
I
a
think he
classic
looked.
guy previously, and he moved up to open. And he looked really good.
He wasn't looking as classic to me. I mean, he had good
I think
shape.
he the last time he did classic was a while ago, but
Well, he looked phenomenal, just to say the least. I'm happy he got a look because the truth is, if nobody knows who the fuck you are and you're in a lineup full of stars, sometimes you don't get looked at because like you could easily say, well, you could easily give Horse MD a better look and put him over him, but they didn't, right? Which is, I think it's great, you know.
if this guy is asking, I don't know what nationality Matthias is, but if he's Czech, then
It
and the
makes sense.
place, the show is in Prague, which
Mhm.
is in the Czech Republic. I think it's the Czech Republic, or it's not Czechoslovakia. There is a lot of post Soviet Union bullshit that is hard to
Yeah,
keep track of in that part of the world. But
really different. Yeah, it's difficult to know what's going on there. I don't understand where Moldova is versus here or there. Apparently, there's no Yugoslavia no more. Now it's called what is it called now?
I don't know.
Serbia. Now it's called Serbia. Some shit like that. I can't keep up with the shit. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know what goes on over there. All right. Let's see. Do you have any stories about trying to get calories in when you first started trying to get big? Oh yeah, we tried it all, man. We tried it all. One one thing I learned in hindsight is that you can't force your body to grow faster than you can genetically put on muscle.
Yeah.
Even with drugs and food, your body grows at the pace. I can't say that's supposed to because none of this is natural, but you're gonna grow at your own pace. You can't say, "Well, Stu's adding 15 pounds a year. Well, Joe's adding this much." It's irrelevant. What the fuck can you do is up to you and your body. Obviously you have to have the discipline. You have to get in the calories. But there were times that I force fed like crazy, like insane amounts of food, but I didn't add stage tissue per se, just because I'm always somebody who's gonna add like 5 to 8 pounds of muscle a year, which is great,
Uh-huh.
But there are people who are gonna add double that, no problem.
Or a
It just
quarter of
is.
that.
Good point. Because if you look at the people who you gotta look at both sides. You can't just be like, oh, why can't I put on 20 pounds of muscle? There's motherfuckers that do everything perfect. I know some of them. I guess I won't say names, but they might add 3 4 pounds of muscle if they're lucky, and you're like, what the fuck? He seems to be doing everything right.
Yeah.
He's working with the coach all year round. He's eating the meals. He's training hard. It just is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, to that point, like, I mean, I have to force feed all the time, but
It works though.
it's up to, it's not force feeding past what is appropriate for my needs,
exactly.
So I
Exactly.
just have to force feed because I have a shitty appetite. but like what you're saying is like you can taking more drugs past a certain point isn't going to help you anymore.
Mhm.
Eating more food past a certain point isn't going to help you anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
It's it'll just lead to more side effects for the first one or a bunch of fat for the second one, so
exactly.
you have to figure out a sweet spot. And some people have to have really mild surpluses in an off season,
Yeah,
to the point where
yeah,
like it doesn't even feel like they're in a surplus because it's, they just, don't have fast metabolisms, or maybe they just can't put on muscle quickly, right?
yeah, yeah.
So, but if they still force that food down, it's not going to put on muscle any faster, but it is going to put fat on them, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. You almost have to go by what the body gives you to a point. To a point, right? When I first started, I was under eating and over drugging. I think everybody when they first started, they were under eating. Not everybody, but a lot of people. If you didn't have the proper guidance. And then when I got with John Reagan and he gave me so much food, I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I can eat all the food. And he's like, just try. And then I'm like, I don't feel like my body wants to do this. And he was like, nobody's body wants to be 300 pounds. And he was like, you tell your body what to do, not the other way around. I agree with him to a point. I agree with him to a point. The food he was giving me at that point was too much for my body. It just was. Now, you don't know till you try though,
Yeah.
because some people like you per se, if he would have gave you that diet, honestly, you probably would have actually grown and looked good because what you eat right now is kind of similar to that diet. I just can't absorb meat. 500, 600 grams of protein for me, I don't have the metabolism, so I still just get fat. I literally just get fat from it.
Yeah,
Whereas
you can't trust things like your appetite
no,
necessarily to
no,
tell
fuck the
you
appetite.
it's something to pay attention to, but it's like it's not the be all and end all of like telling you whether you're eating enough or not,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because you're either dieting very hard and you're going to be starving, or you're forcing food down,
yeah,
or
yeah.
somewhere in between there. You're very rarely eating what you want to eat,
No,
right?
yeah. Well, even before John, I felt like I was force feeding for me already before him. It was already more food than I wanted to eat. And that was way under eating for him. And then he overdid it. It was somewhere in the middle. So I was only doing at that point, let's say I was a heavyweight. My realistic competition weight at the time probably was like 215. And I was only having 6 ounces of protein per meal and about 10 to 12 ounces of carbs, kind of low on the protein, but I felt full all the time. And he brought me up to 12 to 14 ounces of protein, and the carb stayed about the same. And that for me was overkill. Now 8 ounces was about the sweet spot for me, which I grew, didn't get fat, felt good the whole nine. So it was. I get where he was going because John does extreme things sometimes on purpose to prove a point. I don't think he thought I could eat that. He probably knew I couldn't eat that, but he wanted to prove a point what it took, and he did prove a point, and it worked. And I understood that I needed to eat way more than I was eating. Maybe not that much, but I still needed to eat more because I did grow a lot better until it was too much. So, anyway, to answer your question, calorie.
Calories to get calories. We didn't really answer the question. I got a good one though. When I was like, this was years ago, first ever like true off season I did, I wouldn't have like separate meals for the day. I would just have like a big
Oh,
container of just like rice and ground beef and gravy mix that I mixed up. And I would just like pace myself over the course of the day and finish it by the time I went to bed. So, I mean, not really optimal, but it kind of worked, And I
it
wouldn't
does
go to
work.
bed until I finished all of it.
It does work. I've done that, but not to the extent of one meal. I've done that where, like, let's say if I'm supposed to have 6 meals, I might make it three, just out of convenience, and then I
Uh-huh.
would kind of graze on it all day. You
Yeah.
know, you remember Max Charles?
Yeah, of course.
He used to always say he ate one meal a day. Remember that?
No.
Well, he always said that, but he never he usually didn't go in depth. He was doing what you said. It was still under eating compared to everybody else, but he would have one big bowl of food and he was grazed on it all day. So realistically, it was probably, I don't know, 2 pounds of protein or something like that. So he was still, for his size, it's still very little food, but it wasn't like 1 8-ounce portion meal. He would graze on all day, and he still got big as shit. It just everybody's a bit different. As far as me for trying to get calories in, by myself, I had a phase where I would do, remember Serious Mass by Optimum?
Yeah.
I would do that, and it would give me the shits, of course, because nobody should be drinking 2,000 calories at one shot. So
I used the Axe and Sledge meal replacement shake when I was driving down from Washington, just to get food in because it was easy, and it actually didn't fuck with my stomach at all. It felt great. Like
Oh, there you go.
there's some of those meal replacement slash mass gainer things that are like actually they have good quality ingredients and like they won't fuck up your stomach, but they tend to cost more than like serious mass, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, then I started learning that I don't have to just take Serious Mass. I can do like a scoop of Serious Mass and a scoop of regular whey, and maybe get, instead of getting 200 grams of carbs, if I could get 80 to 100 grams of carbs, and then get another 50 protein, my stomach would feel decent.
I've never actually done that consistently, like for any length of time in the off season though, like a meal replacement shake product.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
like, oh, this is meal six. You slam, 2 servings of this or something like that. I've never done that personally.
It low key kind of, hey, low key it kind of kills my appetite when I do that. I think it's more important than getting the food. Make sure you can get in the food, and then fill in the blanks with the shakes. But if you try to get way too much calories from the shake, for me, it kills my appetite. So um, I guess that's probably the craziest thing I did. Besides blending like egg whites and oatmeal and stuff like that. Uh, at one point, I was trying to do all junk food to get the calories in. You get it in, but you get so much junk that you just end up getting fat. For me, so honestly, you just have to eat the food, man. I mean, that's when I got the best results, when I just sat there and ate the chicken and rice. I didn't have to like it. I didn't have to be hungry. I just had to put something on, just keep chewing until it was gone, however long it takes. That's the only way. Or I'm not against drinking it. If you're one of those people who, like, you don't care if blending it up, if you need to do that a couple times, I'm not against it. It turns into like soup. Fuck it.
I've never even done that before. I tried to do it once with like a whole like big meal of like chicken and rice. It was when I got my wisdom teeth pulled. And I was like, oh, I gotta get food in, right? This is years ago. And I like blended it up and it turned into this like pinkish like slurry. And I was
Ooh,
just like, bro, I don't know. I tried to drink some of it and it was like
that's so bad.
it was horrible.
I would rather just put like chicken broth or bone broth on it, make it soupy,
Yeah.
and just eat it. Yeah, but listen, one thing I learned is that there's no shortcuts, which is funny to say because everything we do is kind of trying to find a shortcut, right?
Uh-huh.
Like from the fat burners, it's all shortcuts, but there is no shortcut.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
all still gonna suck at the end of the day.
exactly. One of my clients did her first show in bikini, and she did it without any hormones, right? But we did Clen, T3, and some over the counter diuretics. And she was like, I have a question. I was like, yeah, what's up? She's like, I still had to do 90 minutes of cardio every day for like months. So the T3 and Clen really helped that much? I'm like, yeah, yeah. If honestly, if you didn't do that, you might have had to do, over 2 hours of cardio. You gotta keep in mind you're natural and you've never competed. You had a lot of body fat. You didn't look like a fat person, but for a bikini stage, she still had to lose like 40 pounds. Think about it. You
Wow.
think you can just wake up one day and lose 40 pounds in 3 months naturally without fat burners? That's a very, it might not sound that fast. 3 months, 40 pounds, just an average
On a
lady.
woman's body too. That's a lot.
That's insane. Yeah. So these are things you'll think about. And how lean she was for shit. If a regular person was looking at her, they would be like shocked, like what the fuck? Like she would be shredded to the regular person. So you have to put things in perspective. We just have very high standards for ourselves because we're in a sport that you have to have high standards. But sometimes you don't realize how extreme it is. This is not normal. You can't just wake up. Let me just do my cardio and lose 40 pounds. 40 pounds if you're obese is easy. 40 pounds if you're already a fit young lady is insane. So yeah, it all helps, but then there's also no shortcuts. There's no way you can not put in all that work, no matter what you take. You can try it all. I've tried it all, and it comes back down to doing the fucking cardio that you hate and training tired, and it is what it is. You get to a point where it doesn't matter. All right, let's do a couple more. Did we answer that question? Kind of, yeah. I think we answered it. We tried some stuff, but nothing worked besides just eating. Marty Fitzwater, new wave or overhype? I mean, I don't think he's a wave at all. I just think he's always been good. Just nobody noticed because he didn't win and he didn't stand at the Olympia lineup. But I thought he was really fucking good from the jump. He just didn't compete that often, and he could have been better. He wasn't his best, but he still had everything there. And now he just put it together and actually stood next to people that kind of made him count,
Yeah.
I mean,
he's always been good. And he's grown in the last, because he took 23 off. He didn't compete in 23. So between 22 and 24, he did grow, but not like shitloads. He didn't put on like a ton of muscle. He just finally like really nailed his conditioning from all angles. Because like his backside was always really good, but his front, like his quads were a little softer. Like I never thought that he was like off any of the shows in 22,
no.
right? But like he's kind of like realized his potential now because he has peaked like really well for all of his shows this year.
Now with Martin, he has to be. He's very good at peaking, but he has to be. If Martin is a little bit off, he looks way off, even though he's not. I don't know what it is. He's not like super detailed. He's shredded, but like even him and Nick standing there, when he's standing there, you're like, why doesn't he look shredded? And then he's the pose. You're like, fuck, he's actually leaner than Nick, right? I don't know. My client doing the show is similar today. So like I have to see him in person to really know the shape he's in. Because in pictures, I'm like, there's no separation in his upper quad, but his teardrop is feathered. His glutes are shredded. His hamstring, it's like they have detail in some places, but not some places.
He's
And
got glutes and hams for days, like a lot of detail there, and he's very conditioned there. But his shoulders aren't like striated and separated. His pecs are not striated and separated, but they're very full and they're very dominating in the poses where they count. And so I don't really think that matters all that much.
No.
Look at the top 5 at the Olympia. Who has striated shoulders? I mean, the last guy I can think of was like Dexter Jackson, honestly. Because like honestly, like everyone just shoots gear in there. So there's no detail there, and they don't really care, and like Marty definitely like has that going on. Like he doesn't have separation and like detail in his delts, but it doesn't matter.
No, it's a balance of everything. But but let's say if Marty is 10% off and he's standing there and he sweats a lot, you'll be like, oh, this guy's off. Even though because I think for the UK, I heard people say, oh, he was a bit off. And I'm like, he's still way more peeled than Andrew. If we're being like, let's be honest here, you know. But Andrew is different. Is the complete opposite. Andrew isn't actually that lean, but he appears to be because he's for opposite. He has crazy amount of separation without actually being shredded, right? Like the abs and the chest is you see all this detail, but he's not actually peeled. There is body fat on him. Yeah. So that's the complete opposite of a Martin. Whereas this guy is truly peeled. He's just not crazy separated while standing there relaxed. He's not even posing. He's standing there relaxed. He just lifts his arms up. It looks like he's not even posing his muscle, but it's all detail. And it's like, that's interesting. So imagine if Andrew was in Martin's shape, then it'd be like, what the fuck are we looking at? But that's not how life works. Nobody has it all. Everybody has a piece.
It's almost poetic how it never really works out like that, you know?
No. Phil Heath, when you have somebody like that, then they're Mr. Olympia very much time. Because Phil had that roundness that Marty has, but then he had the detail that Andrew has, but he's actually peeled. And it's funny because when people say, oh, just come in leaner, harder, and fuller. It's like, do you realize that this is not how the body works? Just because Phil can do it doesn't mean that that's a thing that people can do. Because it's opposites. To get harder, you're getting drier and you're getting flatter. To get fuller, you're usually going to start getting softer. So it's like you're looking for a balance that works for your physique. It's just different for everybody else. You know, Andrew tried the really pale look at the Arnold last year or the year before, one of these years, and he just looked pretty stringy for Andrew.
Yeah, he got third, yeah.
That wasn't the look for him. And in Texas, he's lean, but a lot more fuller. It's like, whoa, that's the look. And then maybe push the fullness too much for the Olympian. So you're trying to find a perfect look that people think maybe it's easy. Oh, you just be harder. It's like, it doesn't work that way, bro. It's like it's not a perfect science, you know. If you got it, sometimes you just got it. Sometimes you don't. But no, I don't think Martin is overhyped at all. I think he's getting exactly what I don't say deserved, what he earned.
He was just underrated previous years, honestly.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. Like he competed in 21 as a pro and 22. He was getting, second, third places.
Not by the judge. He wasn't underrated by the judges, maybe by the fans.
Yeah.
He was over.
Right. So like the casual fan who doesn't follow everybody is going to be like, you haven't won a show. Like, I don't know who you are. You're not the Olympia. I don't know who you are. So
no. Shit, even after Detroit, I said I believe, like nothing's for sure, but I said I believe that Martin could beat Hunter and could beat, who's the other guy, Rafa. And some people thought I was crazy. Like, what are you talking about? Just because he's never been there doesn't mean he can't beat them. Now, I felt that if Hunter matched his condition, he would probably beat him. So could Rafa. But they didn't, which is very hard to match Martin's condition. And at this point, he actually looks like he has so much muscle that I don't know if that's true anymore. I don't know if Rafa and Hunter can beat him, even if they do match his condition. Because now, I don't think they're that much big. I don't think Rafa is bigger than him at all. And Hunter is a bigger person. I don't know if Hunter is that much more muscular visually, on the scale probably is, but visually than Martin. I don't know if he is that much more muscular. Not enough to for sure beat him, but I don't know. I don't know anymore. It's possible. All right. Let's do how much questions you got in you? Like 2 more?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you good? All right, bet. Needed it. It's the perfect question for Stu. Generics versus Farm GH. Is Farm needed to become a pro?
Dude.
I don't think.
Why don't you answer the question, Matey?
I don't think any one thing is needed for anybody. Like, this is why, when people say, do you think pros do this? And it's like, you don't know every pro cycle. You know your boys. Well, I don't know if I don't actually know all of you guys cycles. If I'm being honest, we don't really talk about it. But I could guess. I
We
guess
all
you
gotta
know.
assume we're doing the same shit because we are for the most
Yeah.
part.
But if you told me, I don't like Deca or I don't like Trend, I don't do it, I wouldn't be like, what? You don't do Deca, you don't do Trend? I would be like, okay, it's not a big deal. There's so much other tools you could use, right? So, no, honestly, the people I know doing farm are not the pros. The people I know doing farm are just random guys here in West Hollywood. I mean, just random dudes. Most pros and top amateurs I know they're doing generic. Personally, I don't really farm. I don't think farm is anything different or special or cool or it's just from a
If
farm.
money is no object to you, which is very rarely the case with
Uh-huh.
us, amateur or pro bodybuilders, this shit ain't paying you very good. If money is no object though, like yeah, sure, go buy genotropins or serostims or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I don't, I find it, I've never used farm grade stuff, so like I can't really speak from experience here, but I can speak from like my experience using exclusively generics for years, and like this shit works. I mean, like if you compare my face before like 3 years of growth hormone use to now, it's like I'm like the poster child of acromegaly. Like everything
Mm-hmm.
on my face has grown.
Yeah,
Like my
yeah.
face has got like my head's gotten bigger and wider, my nose is bigger, my cheekbones, like you can't tell me I'm not using real good growth hormone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone tries to say that it's like you have to use farm grade shit, they're trying to sell you something. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to have a guy, that they're going to refer you to. And guess what? They're getting a plug. They're getting a cut, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Use
Well,
your brain, man.
and also if you try generics once and you got some green tops for China and it didn't work and you didn't like the results, it was just fake or it
Yeah,
just
there's
wasn't
there's lots
good.
of fake
Farm as well.
farm as well. If you're gonna fake growth hormone, are you gonna fake the stuff that goes for $1 per unit or $5 per unit?
Yeah, good point.
I mean,
I got I got fake growth. I got fake farm growth before from my sponsor at the time. It was LWP. And
really?
they gave me some fake growth. I was so young. I didn't know fake or real until I got some good stuff. I was like, oh, now I see. So I didn't go tell everybody, hey, farm doesn't work. I didn't do that. People do that with generics though, because they have one bad experience. Generics is bullshit. I could say the same for farm then, right? But no, it's just fake shit. It's just fake. Sometimes you get fake shit. It is what it is, and you just don't use that one and try a different one. Or just talk to. I mean, I'm sure you would know somebody that you know that would do, or just shoot me a DM. I'll show you where to go.
Or go to
You
Bio
could.
and use
Oh, so,
code beef stew
simple as
to buy
that.
all your GH from there because it's real.
Simple as that.
Not for human use, of course.
But yeah, that they make good shit. So easiest way, go through them. I mean, they'll ship it straight to you. I don't know, 3 days. Simple. All right. Now let me pull up the other question sticker. 1 second. All right. Let's see. More. How to keep. I lost my recent overall pinned. What? Do you think I lost my recent overall pinned post fifth slide? Stu said it was close.
What's this guy's name?
Matt Smith.
Matt, I already answered your question. Why are you asking me? Yeah, it was close. It was,
I
it,
want
it
to
was
see.
it was his first show too. Like,
I want to see what he looks
don't
like
worry
now.
about it. Nobody wins their first show, let alone comes close to winning their first show.
I
Like,
got to see what he looks like now.
you looked good, dude. You looked really good.
Is he the guy on the left or right?
I don't know. I think he's wearing glasses.
He guy in glasses. Oh, he looks
Green
good, man.
trunks, I want to say.
Yeah, he looks good. I'm assuming the guy on the left one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that's so close. I mean, I wouldn't be able to pick one on the fly.
Yeah.
That's
So,
actually
okay.
very
So, Matt, so now the judges have told you that. I've told you that. Beatty agrees. Could have
yeah
gone either way. Next show.
yeah. To be honest, this one the closest I've seen. I mean, I honestly can't. I'm not trying to be nice or rude. I just honestly can't say one person is clearly in the lead. No, it's just I don't know. It could have went any other way. So, well, good shit though. That's a good battle. Uh, I like those kind of battles. Somebody's always going to be upset. It happened to my client the last show. I'm always honest with them. I'm not going to say, "Well, you were robbed." I can say I would have had you winning, but I'm obviously have some bias because I know you and I like your physique. But looking, I could see how he won. That's what I usually say. If I felt like it was just straight up bullshit, I don't mind saying that either. But if it's close, I'll be like, okay. Sometimes I got to step back from it and look at it completely unbiased and be like, you know what? I could see that. That guy had a nice waist. Yeah, I can see that. It
Yeah.
is what it
Like,
is.
you, I mean, I can empathize with it, right? Because, like, we've all been in shows that we thought we should have done better at or won or whatever. And, like, in that moment, you want everybody to affirm the way that you feel,
Sure,
right?
for sure.
You feel
For
like you
sure.
got fucked over and you just like, you want people to like rally behind you. Like, and then, typically in my experience, like I'll look back at the show that I was thinking about at the time and I was like, yeah, okay, I see it.
Yeah. Yeah, not that it couldn't have gone a different way, but you can see the argument
Yeah, when
either
you're
way.
when you're removed like from by a few weeks or a few months, you can look at it rationally, look back at pictures, like, okay, yeah, the
Yeah,
checks out.
yeah,
I could see
yeah,
how it goes that way.
for sure. Yeah, I try to limit my emotions until like a week or two after the show because I know that I won't be able to look objectively and really know what's going on, or at least get some pictures from the audience or something because
Yeah.
on that stage you're thinking about all the work you did and how you feel. So there's a lot of emotion there that is going to cloud your judgment as well. So that it's important to do that.
Sometimes you get
Sometimes,
lucky on those close calls and sometimes you don't. And
yeah, yeah.
that's just how it is, man.
Because I've seen it happen the other way too. When I'll have a client win, and in my head, I'm like, I can see how the other side could be like, what the fuck? Because it's not always linear. Because you could say, well, usually the guy who's a little tighter wins. Sometimes the guy who's tighter doesn't win, and then
Yep.
you'd be like, well, how come the last show? You can't make that comparison because they're judging what's there in front of them that day, and that can vary. There's so much other factors that can make that vary. The way I look at it is I always think to myself, I shouldn't have let it even be that close to begin with.
Yeah.
That's how I want to,
It's the only valid response to that is like,
exactly.
and the higher up in the sport that you get, the harder that is to be
For
like,
sure, for
just to be
sure.
able to shut the door on anybody at any show. Good. I'm sorry, unless you're like top five, top 10 material at the Olympia, it doesn't
It's not
happen in
happening.
the open, right?
Exactly.
Um,
Shit.
so just keep working, dude. It's your first show. Good work.
Like, like looking at Raph, I felt like that's what he did. I thought he should have won last year, but he took his physique to a point where it's gonna be like they don't even have to look past a couple of poses. Like
Mhm.
they don't even have to wait. Okay, let's see the back. Fuck the back. It's over, motherfucker. Just that's it. It's done. So you almost want to create, especially at the amateur level, you want to create that distance that it's like, okay, this guy is ready for the next level. So it doesn't even have to be like, who almost, just run away with it. Okay. What do you think though? Who do you think wins overall at nationals? Oh, this year, man. I feel like anytime I think something, some random person that none of us knows wins.
Yep.
Yeah. So some guy in a hoodie who doesn't have the camera crew, who doesn't have bodybuilding where borders don't even know who the fuck they are. They can't even tag them. And like, who's this guy? But he's winning. So I think most people have Elliott winning. I could see that. I do think he has some holes in there, and if somebody's more complete, they don't have to be as freaky. They just have to be more complete, in shape, with enough tissue, could beat him. But he could win. He could win. You know, you just gotta see it in the lineup. But he would be the front runner if we're talking about name and maybe potential. But that doesn't mean a lot when it comes to bodybuilding. Honestly,
Yeah, man. I honestly I don't follow amateurs and not like closely enough anymore to
yeah,
really say. I know a couple of guys doing it.
yeah. I know. From what I've heard, I haven't seen Sid, but I've heard Sid put on a lot of tissue, and of course he's going to be peeled, and he looks phenomenal. So,
I'm sworn to secrecy about Sid. I'm not allowed to talk about Sid.
okay. Yeah, so,
He sent me some pictures a little while ago, and he's like, "Don't talk to anybody about this. Don't send them to anybody." I'm like, "Okay, fine."
oh yeah. Well, I'm definitely excited to see how Sid looks. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's in that mix to win the show, the whole show actually. So, but like I said, it could be some random person that we've never heard of. That happens very often. Okay, we're done
I
with
just
the.
messaged him for more
Oh,
update pics. It's been
yeah.
like over a month since I saw anything of him. So
Oh, we should get him. Should we? I'm gonna try to figure out who's doing the show. Maybe when Bodybuilding Borders post some pictures and see if we can get anybody on a podcast if they can still talk this close to the show. But Sid for sure, Sid for sure. I'll try to get Elliot on see if he wants to do the podcast.
good luck.
Hopefully the. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I already asked him before, but let's see if I ask him again. What do you think? Do you put classic guy pound for pound? Huh. People use pound for pound reasoning way too much. I don't think so.
Pound for pound.
Like this is pound for pound the best physique or pound for pound the biggest guy. Well, I think that makes sense. I don't think they overuse it.
It's probably a
I,
tall guy saying that.
probably.
I'm
I
6'1", so I should win.
yeah.
Sorry, buddy. Doesn't work like that.
I could say pound for pound, Sean Clarita and Keon are some of the best bodybuilders in the world.
Yeah.
Who wins in a front lat spread? All time best Ramy, all time best Andrew Jack, all time best C-Bum, all time best Dorian.
Ramy. I think Ramy.
I think Ramy is very people. I think he's been unfairly judged by everybody. I think he was incredible in his prime. Never got fully got the respect in his prime because he was next to Phil. And then even after the fact, I think people act like he never won an Olympia. I think people forget he's the only one to win more than one Olympia since fucking Phil. Everybody else is getting ones. He's the only one that actually got two. So I think he's not very respected for some reason, which he's the nicest guy, humblest guy, and a really good bodybuilder. But yeah, people forget his front lat and his side chest was some of the best we've ever seen, period. And he seems to just be forgotten about, just like nothing happened, you know. So I think in the lineup, I would agree, Ramy. But by themselves, how they look on their own body,
It's just so weird because like
it's so
we
different.
went from Ramy who's like 5'10", almost 300 pounds on stage in condition. Like he the last couple of years he was in condition,
Oh yeah,
right?
he was.
Um, to like, 230, 240 pound guys who are 5'6", 5'5",
Yeah.
212 guys. It's
It's a
just
big
such
difference.
a pivot
Vast difference.
that. And then, now we have Samson. I can't keep
Yeah.
track of it.
And then okay. Ramy at his prime, he was never like fat on stage. He wasn't. As he got older, he got like a drier skin tone or some more graininess. But he always had lines in his glutes. Even at that New York Pro, I mean, he was peeled every angle. He just didn't have a hard, grainy look to his body. But I still feel like he was being judged very hard. Like, yes, should you be peeled? Yes. But when you're 50 pounds bigger than everybody, that has to count for something as long as you're not fat, because it seems like Andrew and Samson get a little bit of a pass because they have the shape and size.
Oh,
But
your
Ramy didn't seem
conditioning
like.
is significantly behind Ramy's, but
That's what I think personally.
yeah.
But it doesn't seem like everybody thinks that. I'm not sure why. I think you go back to Ramy 2014, that New York Pro. I think that was far better conditioned than Andrew and Samson. Now at the Olympia level, they didn't have to stand next to Phil Heath, so I do get that. I'm not saying he should have beat Phil because I believe Phil is probably one or two all time. So that's a different ball game.
Yeah.
But everybody else, fair game. Granted, he took second to Phil. I just still don't think he gets enough respect. Yeah, so
It just sucks because like his the last things that we remember of him were him going from first place to fifth at the Olympia, and then he got like fourth or fifth at the Arnold when he looked way better. And the only thing people were talking about was like, oh, he's got a hole in his quad. He's got a hole in his
yeah,
quad. Like, okay, you found a flaw. I mean,
yeah,
he's gigantic and peeled. Not maybe not
yeah,
peeled, but like in good condition, right? Like,
yeah.
damn, dude.
At that Arnold, I feel like you could call him peeled at that Arnold, man.
I think
I
so.
honestly,
Yeah, he's
I
very well
honestly feel
peeled.
like he was on point. Okay,
Don't
that
still feels
version
good.
of yeah, that version of Andrew, I believe Ramy should have beat him personally. I just believe that version of Andrew, even though he was in really good shape, wasn't much better shape than Andrew, if at all. I mean, wasn't much better shape than Ramy, if at all. But giving up a lot of fucking size, man, a lot of size at this show. So I thought Ramy at lowest should have been third, but potentially even higher, man. Like, what are we talking about here? This is a 300-pound man with a pretty good waist, with a great V taper and the biggest legs. I don't know. He didn't get a lot of respect, but I'll have to agree with you on Ramy. By themselves, I think I like. Think I like by themselves. I like Sebum, but obviously in the lineup he would look small. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with Dorian. I like Dorian's actual lats in that pose better than everybody, but you're not just judging the lats. You have to judge the whole body. So I wouldn't have
Yeah,
Dorian there.
quad sweep. It's the whole silhouette. And
I
I
would
think
think, yeah,
Ramy is just the best with the whole silhouette.
yeah. Andrew had a really good front lat spread, but he's not. If you notice, he's not consistent with it. Some shows it looks better than others. I thought one show he wasn't popping one lat, was popping less than the other. At the Olympia, he didn't have his trademark abs, so it's not like it's always looks exactly like that. Whereas Ramy's always, I thought, always looked perfect. I thought Sebum's always looked perfect personally. So yeah, I might have to go. I might have to agree with that personally. And I think that's a wrap. Unless you want to do one more.
I can do one more. Sure.
All right,
Think
let's
you
see.
good.
Yeah, I kind of want a lifestyle one. There's too much bodybuilding, you know? Let me see. Let me refresh the page, see if I get some new ones. Oh, there we go. Okay. Boom. Do you watch UFC?
Not really.
No. Oh, nice. Somebody wants to know which bodybuilder you think would do the best in the UFC.
Uh,
Michael like it, but he's retired.
yeah, Michael Logan would probably fuck people up.
You know he was a boxer, right?
He was?
He was, but from what I hear, he's even a better boxer on the streets. But he was actually like a legit boxer before bodybuilding. Let me get a better one. As a bodybuilder, best place to meet a girlfriend, or I guess a potential girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, they're just gonna sap the life out of you, man. They want to do fun shit when you got meals to eat and you got train.
I would say, I guess, looking from my friends who have good girlfriends, I would say at the
Important
gym.
caveat there. Good girlfriends.
I would say it seems like at the gym or online. It seems to be not like Tinder, but like on Instagram, just DMs. It seems to work. Seems to work. I prefer. I feel like I usually meet. For me, it's usually the gym. I think it's kind of difficult because sometimes you just go and you want to be in and out. Same time, sometimes if the girl is serious, sometimes she's focused on her workout. So it's kind of difficult. But where else would we meet? I don't go anywhere else. Fucking Trader Joe's. I'm like, hey, I see you smelling those fucking cucumbers. What's your name? Like, how does that work? So I don't think we have much of a choice. I guess expos, shows, but I don't like it when I'm at a show and I see like a girl that's attractive. I don't really approach them at the show. Hey, who you here for? Who you? That's your boyfriend. I'm sorry. Oh, who you? That's okay. What's you? I don't. I don't know. It just. I like it for it to be natural at the gym. If I got to be there with somebody. If I'm there by myself, I usually have my head down. But if I'm there with a training partner or something, I'm feeling talkative. I start talking, then I start cracking jokes, and I'll usually try to crack a joke. And if she hears it and she laughs, and I'll start to crack another joke toward the direction. And I don't have the look, so I have to use my jokes, man. I don't know how it works for everybody else.
I don't know. I don't even have jokes, dude, but my girlfriend thinks I'm hilarious. So
where,
whatever.
where, where did you meet her?
Jim.
I'm thinking the gym.
Here's the thing, though, right? So Megan is very serious about what she's doing in the gym. She's not
Uh-huh.
fucking wearing,
I like that though.
next to nothing.
Uh-huh.
She's clothed. She's training hard. She's focused, and she's not like,
Looking around, yeah, looking
yeah,
for some
she's not
attention.
attention
Yeah.
seeking, right?
I like that. I like that. Yeah,
That that is what is like. If you're
100%.
serious about what you're doing in there, it tells me that you're going to be serious about other things too. If
100%.
you're just a fucking slut, dressed up like a whore, and it sends a message, and you're going to attract a certain kind of male doing that, ladies.
And well, and you also you don't want to think that it's too easy, right? Like you don't want to see them in the gym talking to every single guy at the gym and hi. Like, damn, all these guys. I mean, is it not that I'm
Very,
judging
very
you?
unattractive. Yeah, no,
I'm
no,
not judging you as a person, just
I
as
am.
somebody that, just as somebody that I want to talk to with some interest. That doesn't. I don't really. I don't fancy that at all.
Here's
The
the problem,
last.
right?
Huh?
If you if you're looking for a girl who's serious, you also have to be serious and look the part, right?
Exactly.
So like, you might have to put on 30 pounds of muscle before you're in that league. Um, but you can do that.
You can
It's,
do it. Yeah.
yeah.
The last girl I picked up at a gym with a pickup. That sounds funny. Uh, Honestly, I wanted to talk to. Obviously, I thought she was attractive, but I was more attracted to the fact that she was so focused on the fucking gym. You know, I could tell she was probably getting ready for a show or something. She was, and she just seemed focused to the point that I was talking to Paul and I was saying something about her and looking dead at her and pointing at her, and she didn't even acknowledge it, and I like that. You know, so she gotta look and be like, "Hey," but I kind of like that she's not there giving a bunch of guys attention. I prefer that. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get her attention, and then she wasn't trying to show me any attention, and I like that as well. She wasn't being rude, but she wasn't really giving me that much attention until I showed her that, hey, I'm trying to talk to you, but I'm doing it respectfully. I'm not doing it in a weird way. No, okay, this guy's pretty cool. You know, you want it to be kind of a process, like, you know, like almost like you introduce yourself like a friend, like we're not gonna be, hey, yeah, what's your number? Like, come over here. What's your number? Like, it's not a fucking club, you know. It's a gym, so I do it in a way, you know. I try to do it like friendly, and then eventually, like, hey, you know what's going on. I'm not trying to be friends here. We're on the same page. Oh, okay, we're on the same page, you know. But honestly, it's funny because like most of us, but we just want a decent fucking girl. We don't need some fancy shit. We don't give a fuck about makeup and followers and this and we don't give a fuck. A regular fucking nice good girl in sweatpants. We don't care. You don't have to. At least for us, you got to get your lips done. You know, we don't give a fuck about any of that shit. We don't care about your nails.
Dude, I feel like we talked about the lips thing before, but like, Jesus Christ, it looks so stupid.
You get out of control. Yeah, you get out of control.
It looks so dumb. I get it. Like, if it's done properly, it doesn't look bad. Dude,
yeah.
Dude, just like, don't fuck with your face. Don't stick needles in your face. Put them in your delts, your glutes, your lats, everywhere else. No face.
Hey, listen, like, to each his own. Everybody should do what they want to do, but just understand, like, from a point of view of a guy, don't feel like you need to do that for any guy. That's not gonna do anything. Like, a guy is into you or they're not, and most men just want a decent woman. Nothing doesn't have to be anything special, crazy. Just fucking decent woman. It doesn't seem that difficult, right? But it seems to be. It's not as easy as you would think. You know, it's not as easy as you would think. You know, there's we have it probably better because there's a lot more women than men, but it doesn't feel like that sometimes because the options sometimes don't feel that broad. You know, but
dude, I'm just so glad I don't have to worry about this shit.
Yeah. I gotta be honest. When I was in a relationship, maybe I either overestimated myself or overestimated the women out there because in my head I thought if I was single, shit, it would be easy to get a new girlfriend. Like that sounds rude to say it that way, but I thought there was a bunch of great options. Like, oh yeah, she will be a good girl. She'll be good until you actually put it into you actually go and try and date, and you're like, huh, maybe not so much. Just because there's a lot of women doesn't mean there's a lot of women that would fit your criteria as wifey material. You know, so we had this conversation before, and honestly, I feel a little. Even when it comes to dating, I honestly don't have the bandwidth, you know, to actually date multiple girls at this point.
Well, dude, I mean,
I don't have the
that's different
energy
from what you said previously, which I think is progress.
well, granted, I still don't think it's like not a good thing, like it's a bad thing to do or anything like that. Just that I honestly just don't I don't have the patience, time, or energy, and I don't even care to, bro. Sounds fucked up. I don't even care to get laid that often. Like the time investment is not even worth it. I would rather not get laid and save my time, energy, and money, and find a situation that works for me. Like, being completely honest, I would rather get laid way less. I mean, listen, we got needs. We're, you know, we have extra testosterone and all that, but it's not even worth the energy. I got to be honest. It's not worth the time and energy. So at this point, I gotta say, like, I would probably just go one at a time. It's slow, but it's it's all I could manage. It's all I could manage right now.
I'll just say two things. Like I said earlier, I'm glad I don't have to worry about this shit. And if you're trying to do something, do it right.
100%, 100%.
Don't try and do 5 things at once. You
Do
probably
it.
won't do very well at any of them.
Good point. See, that's something that takes self awareness too. That you have to make an effort, maybe more than you think you need to. So when you're spread thin, the effort isn't going to be the same neither. And to some extent, it can be rude depending how you do it. It can be rude if you're not completely honest and open and understand the situation, because you can hurt somebody's feelings by doing that for sure, or you can waste somebody's time by doing that. So I don't know.
It's just the mindset that you're in if you're playing that game is just not a committed mindset.
Yeah.
Right? So what do you think the result's going to be?
That's true.
It's not going to be commitment.
No, see, my mindset when I do that is usually like, okay, it makes you cut people off easier, which can be a negative. It's not always a good thing, because everybody has flaws. So what happens if this person, the moment they show any flaws, oh, fuck this person, I already have 3 other girls, right? That's not a good thing, because that one flaw is not necessarily enough to make this person not a good choice. They might be a great choice, but because you have these other options that you feel that, okay, this is usually, so that's not, so if you can focus one at a time, that would probably get you maybe not as fast to the goal, but maybe like a better quality woman that way. That's the truth, because you'll be able
I'll
to
leave that to you to test.
Yeah, I'm gonna test it out. See what's up. But until then, I gotta put on some muscles for the off season. Which all right, bro. Thanks for coming on, man. This is a quick one, short one.
This is the two of us.
What's the show called again? Somebody came up with a good name for us. What was the name?
Beef
The mediocre. Oh, mediocre podcast. That might not. Is it bad to like say that because you don't want to speak things into existence, right?
Dude, fuck that. I'm not gonna change that until I win a show.
Okay.
If I can win a show. So
well, then I guess that's gonna go for both of us. So
pretty much.
So for now, it's still gonna be the mediocre podcast until things change in the future.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Well, stay on though. I want to ask you something. Peace out, people. Don't date too many girls.